For decades, the names Mafia and Hell's Angels have evoked images of shadowy power, criminal enterprise, and the kind of loyalty that can shape destinies or destroy them. But beneath the mythology, there are stories told by those who lived it, who stood not just on the fringes of society, but at the very center of these notorious organizations. George Christie, former president of the Ventura chapter of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, is one such figure. His journey through the heart of the Hells Angels and his insights into their complex relationship with the Mafia shed light on a world few truly understand. The Hells Angels, founded in the aftermath of World War II, began as a brotherhood of restless veterans seeking camaraderie and freedom on the open road. But as the decades rolled on, the club's image darkened. Stories of crime, violence, and confrontation with law enforcement became intertwined with their legend. Christie, who led his chapter from 1978 to 2011, insists that the Hells Angels are not a criminal organization at their core. Instead, he describes a brotherhood where loyalty and mutual respect reign supreme. Yet, he does not shy away from the truth. Some members have been involved in criminal activities, and the club's chapters have evolved in ways that sometimes blur the lines between myth and reality. For many, the biggest question is how the Hells Angels stack up against the Mafia, those storied families of organized crime, infamous for their codes of silence and ruthless efficiency. According to Christie, the relationship between the two is anything but simple. While the Mafia traditionally dominated organized crime, there were periods when their power waned, or they were forced into hiding by law enforcement. During these times, the Hells Angels would step in, nibbling at the Mafia's business interests, taking over small operations, filling the void left behind, and occasionally clashing with Mafia operatives. But it wasn't always a war. Christie recalls moments of uneasy cooperation, where business interests aligned and mutual benefit outweighed rivalry. These were pragmatic alliances, temporary, transactional, and always tinged with suspicion. The Hells Angels, with their decentralized structure and fierce independence, operated differently from the rigid hierarchical Mafia families. Where the Mafia prized secrecy and tradition, the Hells Angels thrived on rebellion and brotherhood. Yet, both organizations demanded absolute loyalty, and both were capable of swift, brutal retribution when crossed. Christie also reveals a surprising source of inspiration for some of the Hells Angels' more notorious rituals: an obsession with Mafia culture. The club's bloodthirsty initiation ceremonies, tales of discipline, and codes of silence drew on the legends of the Mafia, even as the Angels carved out their own identity. In this twisted dance, respect and rivalry walked hand in hand, each organization shaping the other in subtle ways. But the world was changing. By the time Christie left the Hells Angels in 2011, he saw an organization losing its way. No longer a tight-knit brotherhood, but a group locked in perpetual conflict with rivals and law enforcement. The camaraderie he cherished was fading, replaced by suspicion and infighting. The Angels' battles, once mostly internal or with other biker clubs, now extended to a broader, more dangerous criminal landscape, where old alliances counted for less and survival meant adapting fast. Looking back, Christie's story is not just about crime or violence, but about the enduring search for belonging and the heavy price that can carry. The Hells Angels and the Mafia remain symbols of an outlaw world, but their truths, as revealed by those who lived them, are far more complicated than legend suggests. In the end, the lines between friend and foe, brotherhood and betrayal, are as blurred as the dust on a desert highway, never fixed, always shifting, and known only to those who ride in the shadows.